In Argentina, different sectors mobilized to reject transfeminicides in commemoration of the Stonewall riot in New York City, where in response to the police repression, the LGBTQI community marched through the streets for the first time. Our correspondent Carolina Silvestre from Buenos Aires.
The LGBTIQ community marched for the 8th consecutive year in rejection of transvesticides, transfemicides, and transhomicides.
Being a leading country in human rights, but to keep marching so trans people are not killed, so trans people don't disappear, is a bit painful. Yet, understanding that in the region only 8 countries have a gender identity law, it is important that we remain at the forefront of human rights and that we continue for those who cannot raise their voice, for those who cannot make themselves visible, that we continue to occupy the streets and that at some points this will be a celebration.
During the demonstration, activists demanded historical compensation for social and economic exclusion.
It is related to cultural transformation or cultural progress, which often falls behind the laws, especially in Argentina. In other countries, there was a cultural change first and then the laws. I believe that in our country it was not that way. The cultural change came after these progressive laws. It is essential so people can understand. Isn't it? To understand and try to abandon a little bit all that paranoid response in relation to LGBTIQ minorities.
They also demanded an end to institutional violence and the justification of torture based on the identities of transvestite trans people.
We still see the discrimination against our community. There is violence, there are also deaths, and it is important that the change be truly social, because not only a law is enough, but it has to be a collective change.
We know there is still a long way to go, but we in Argentina are a country of privileges. There are still 70 countries in the world that criminalizes for being LGBT people. Here we can get married, we have same-sex marriage, we can create and raise our families. We also have transgender labor quota. We have non-binary identities, and today we can be here in the square in the Congress of the Nation, making this great celebration.
The lack of access to full enjoyment of political rights and the mistreatment of children were among the demands made by the demonstrators.
Carolina Silvestre, TeleSUR, Buenos Aires.